Hi, I'm Billy and welcome to my video. Today I'm doing the TBR JAR Picks my April reads, which first of all is just crazy that we're going into April. I actually can't think about it too much or it freaks me out because it feels like New Year's was literally 5 seconds ago. But I see this video all the time and I thought it would be so much fun to make one. If you haven't seen this type of video before, essentially I have a jar just here that's full of prompts. I'm gonna randomly pick out a prompt and then pick a book related to that prompt, if that makes sense. The issue is I am not the world's fastest reader. I'm kind of a slow reader. I can read maybe like 3 to 4 books in a month, but I really want to pick 6 prompts because I feel like that'll be the perfect room to mood read within those 6 books, if that makes sense. I really think I'll probably read 3 books in April, maybe 4 if I have more time, but I'm still going to pick 6 prompts because it just makes the whole video so much more fun. Now, as you can see, I don't have a beautiful TBR cart. I just have these 2 containers that are full of books at the moment. If you watched my last video, I went through all the books in my house and organized my physical TBR. Also in that video, which I highly recommend you watch, I made this beautiful TBR jar. It was so much fun to make this and I'm so excited to finally use it because I've been waiting so patiently to be able to use it. So without further ado, let's start picking some prompts. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. Okay, so I'm gonna pick 6 books based on these prompts. Oh, it smells really weird in there. Don't know why I smelt it. Okay. I'm gonna show it to you first and then I'll read it. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Is that upside down? Is that right? Favorite author. Okay, I'll show you a few options that we have. So, favorite author, I'm gonna say is probably, I have a couple, maybe Sally Rooney, Taylor Jenkins Reid, Jessa Hastings, potentially. So, okay, let's have a look. Now, I did just for a second think, oh, I really want to read Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home, but I don't think I could really classify Jessa Hastings as one of my favorite authors. I love this series so much, but I think it just doesn't count. I'm hoping that I can find a prompt for this book because I really do want to read it, but I just think it's not this one. So let's see what else we've got. I've got Intermezzo by Sally Rooney, and then by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I have One True Loves and Maybe in Another Life. I think I'm gonna go with a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. So I have these 2 options here, One True Loves and Maybe in Another Life. Let me just read the back. So Maybe in Another Life, from what I understand, I think it's sort of like a dual perspective book of a girl's life. I think she has a decision to come to and then it's portraying 2 different outcomes of that decision, if that makes sense. That's what I think this one is about, which does sound really interesting to me. One choice, 2 different paths with stunningly different results. That definitely does sound very fascinating. I'm intrigued to see how that's written. And One True Loves, which I'm pretty sure is about a girl who marries her high school sweetheart and then they go on a holiday. He's missing, a lot of time has passed, and then she moves on with someone else and then her husband comes back or is found, essentially. Then she has to kind of decide between these 2 people. They seem to have quite similar themes, but I reckon this is very tricky. I think I'm gonna go with One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid for my first book of April. Let's put that one right here and put this one back in the TBR container. Okay, time for another prompt. I'll show you guys first. Is that upside down again? Can you see that? Group chat pics. Oh my God. Okay, so this one's, let's see here. Should I do the girls group chat or should I do like the proper group chat? Okay, I've just messaged the group chat. I've said, guys, I need help. I'm making a video and I need the group chat to pick my next read. Okay, I'll send them a photo. This is kind of embarrassing. I don't really care. So I said, please pick which one. So we'll see. No one's even seen it yet. They're probably all at work and I'm just being silly, but okay. I actually have no idea what they're gonna say. We'll have to come back to that once they respond. Update on the group chat. I got a message back from my best friend Izzy. She said, before we were strangers. All right, well, that picks that. Okay, so Izzy has spoken and this is the group chat pick, Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carland. It's basically about I don't know, like old lovers turned strangers who run into each other. I don't know. That's really quite a bad summary. And this is the group chat pick, book number. Okay, back to the jar for book number 3. A person on the cover. Okay, I feel like we might have a couple here. So Sweet Bitter is like kind of a person, and I do kind of want to read this book. Maybe I'll just pick this one, but let's see first. Okay, this one has a person on it. Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, but I don't know if I want to pick that one. The Love Hypothesis, also another option. I'm looking at these two right now. I also have Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I totally forgot that I had this book when I did the favorite author. Okay, these are my 3 options that I'm going to choose from, because these are the 3 that I feel realistically I might read in April. I've got Sweet Bitter, The Love Hypothesis, and Carrie Soto is Back. Let me just ponder for a second. You know what? I really want to read Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Garber is book number 3 for April. I'll just put these back and I'll pick the 4th book. Oh, I can already see what this says. Free pick. Okay, that's a lot of pressure. What do I want to read? I didn't really think about this. Okay, so I've got 2 kind of like fiction, romance-ish books. Maybe I should do something different. Okay, so the ones that are standing out to me at the moment are Caraval, which is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I also have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. Ooh, or I could do Magnolia. Okay, I did say that I really wanted to read that, but I feel like that goes with the same vibe as these books, and I don't want to like read all of the same type of book. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna go with something fantasy. You know what? I think I'm gonna do Caraval. Caraval? Caraval? I don't know how to say it. I only hear Americans say it, so sometimes it's hard to know how to pronounce it with an Australian accent. Caraval. Is that how Americans say it? I think I'm gonna give this a go. I don't know how much I'm gonna like this book, if I'm being entirely honest, but I'm curious. So this is gonna be my free pick, aka book number 4 for my April TBR. Let's pick book number 5. Also, how fun is this TBR jar? Again, you need to go and watch my book vlog that I made last week when I made this TBR jar, because it was just so much fun and I love that video. Okay, we're going with this one. What is it? One word title. Damn it, I could have done Caraval, whatever. One word title. Let's see what we've got. I've got Reckless. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I've got 2 options. So I have Reckless and Intermezzo or Intermezzo. No one has told me how to pronounce it. I should probably just Google it. By Sally Rooney. Okay, this is tricky. So I might get cancelled for this, but I really did not like Powerless. I think it was just so YA that I couldn't really get into it. I was feeling a little bit cringed out, and it felt just too written for TikTok, if you know what I mean. There was just too many tropes in that was so TikTok trends, tropes, you know what I mean? Anyway, so do I even want to read Reckless? That's what I'm thinking. Apparently this one isn't any better than the first one. If anything, I've heard that it's worse than the first one. So is there really any point? But I have also been thinking about this recently, that I kind of want to read it. You know what? I'm going to add this on as my 5th book for April. I don't have to read it because, again, realistically, I'm only going to read like 3 or 4 of these. I'm going to put it on and see what happens. You never know. I might be feeling like a cringy, easy read, and I might gravitate towards this. So I'm going to put this on my April 2025 TBR. Okay, we have 1 more, and then I'm going to go through all the books that we have. So a good shake. Oh, 1 fell out. Okay, that's probably a sign that I will do this one. Most recent purchase. Okay, well, I'm gonna cheat on this one. I'm sorry. Because my most recent purchase, I bought a bunch of books on Marketplace, and I got the Caraval series, a couple Taylor Jenkins Reid books, it's a bit of a tongue twister, and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. But a few days before that, I bought a book in the bookshop, which was Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. So technically it wasn't my most recent purchase, but it was my most recent purchase in real life in a store, because all the other ones were bought online on Depop or Facebook Marketplace. So you know what? I'm going to form a little loophole and I'm going to say that this one is fine because I really want to read it. I haven't been in this series in such a long time and I've been waiting to buy this book, and I finally bought it and I think it's time. So let's put that on the top of the stack and go through all of these books that I have. Okay, so starting from the top, the first book we have is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The prompt for this one was a favorite author. This one is about a woman who is married to her high school sweetheart and then he goes missing. She remarries years later and her husband is found and comes back. So then she has this decision of what the fuck is she gonna do, respectively. The fifth book was from the prompt Group Chat Picks. I sent a photo of the TBR to my group chat and I got one response from my best friend Izzy, and she said Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carland. This is sort of a fiction romance. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm definitely keen to read this one. It kind of seems like it might be sad. I don't know. I'm fully just guessing. It's basically about these people who I think were together when they were younger and then spent a long time apart and have just bumped into each other. And from what I understand, that's where it starts off. There's like a 15-year gap between the times that they've seen each other. But yeah, I feel like that'll be a good little filler one between fantasy books. The next book that I picked was Sweet Bitter by Stephanie Garber. The prompt for this one was, oh my god, I've already forgotten. I'm going through all the prompts. Oh my gosh, how have I forgotten? What the hell? Oh, a person on the cover, of course. So I picked Sweet Bitter. This one is about a 22-year-old. She moves to New York and is kind of figuring life out. I think it'll be just like a nice, simple read, just like a coming of age, sort of early 20s girl experiencing life. I also remember reading that she works in a restaurant, and I find that quite interesting because I did work in hospitality for such a long time. So I think that'll bring back a lot of memories for me, and I'm excited to read this. The next book that I picked was my free pick, and that's Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This one has a lot of hype and I feel like it's going to be quite YA, which I don't necessarily like, but I'm still intrigued to see what it's all about. It's a 3-book series about like a game that's hosted once a year by some mysterious person where the winding streets are an elaborate snow-covered maze and the people are never who they seem. I think it's going to be like a fantasy, romantasy, mystery. There's going to be some twists and turns. Judging by the name and the cover, I'm guessing it's got some sort of carnival vibe, which is what I thought it was called for such a long time until I realized that maybe I was reading it wrong. It does not have an N in it. It just says Caraval. But at midnight on the first day, the show begins and the visitors become players, and the winner gets a single wish. That sounds like fun. The next prompt I got was a one-word title, which I picked Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the second full book in the Powerless series. I didn't really like Powerless, and I don't know if I will actually read this or if I will enjoy it if I read it, but I feel like I kind of just want to finish the series, even though the third book isn't yet out. I kind of just want to read this and potentially get rid of it. I don't know, but it's essentially about this girl who lives in a world where everyone has these powers and the people that don't have powers are hunted down and killed. This girl, her whole life has been pretending she has powers, but she doesn't, and then she ends up in the mix with people with power and basically doesn't want to get found out for her secret. This is the second book. It did end on a big cliffhanger, so I am quite curious to see what will happen, but I'm not entirely sure I will actually read this one. Let's see. And the last book, which is the one I really wanted to get a prompt for, is Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. This is the third book in the Magnolia Parks universe, and I have been waiting so patiently to read this book. I finally just bought it. The prompt for this one was most recent purchase, and yeah, It might take me a while to read this one because it's pretty chunky and it's quite big as well, but I'm so excited to get back into this messy, chaotic world. It's gonna be a whole bunch of fun. Okay, so that wraps up my TBR JAR Picks, my April reads video. Here are the 6 books that I chose. Come back for next month, which is May, which is crazy, to see how many of these I actually managed to read. I can assure you it won't be all of them, unfortunately, but I am keen to see which ones I do end up reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.